Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and I made this video about how to make an NFT and sell it without having any money. And that video got over 600,000 views, which is insane, and a lot of new subscribers came to the channel. So I want to say welcome. However, this main question kept getting brought up over and over and over again. And the question was, Tommy, how do I market and sell my NFT? I know how to make it for free, put it online, but how do I actually sell it? Like, how do I market this thing? And by the way, a lot of artists are very good at drawing, creating music, photography, all the stuff. But when it comes to the business side of things, they're not really that great at it. And that's not an excuse. You should know how to do that, including myself, because sometimes I'm bad at it. But this video actually helped me. So making this video helped me out a lot. And by the way, this question contains the answer. How do you sell an NFT? How do you sell it? Well, by marketing it, right? The answer is in the actual question. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you exactly step by step, without skipping a single step, how to go ahead and market and brand and actually go ahead and sell your NFT. We already know how to create it for free, all that stuff. If you have not seen that video, I'll put it in the cards up here, and also, for example, in the link down below in the description. On top of that, like this video, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and basically subscribe and hit the bell to get notified. It helps a lot, and I appreciate it, and welcome to the channel. So the first thing is this, guys. If you go over to OpenSea, or if you go over to Rarible, like one of the two biggest marketplaces when it comes to NFT, you will see in the explore section what is popping, what is trending, what the top projects actually are. And even me, for example, someone that got over 600,000 views on a video, I sold like 4 copies of that boring collection NFT, like that was there for fun. I wasn't trying to sell it, honestly, but I made like $43 just by having fun. So even by having that many people watch that video, it only converted into $43. So obviously there is something that is missing in order to actually have people buy these things like hotcakes, to actually make a lot of money. And it all boils down to marketing and also branding. And there are 3 little things that are basically common sense I want you to keep in your mind as you're watching this video. And the first thing is that, first of all, 80% of people watching this video right now, and they're going to try to do this, are going to waste their time, okay? They're going to list their NFTs, they're going to avoid the advice, not do what they're supposed to do, and before you know it, they're not really going to make any money. But the other 20%, that little amount of people, those are the ones that are actually going to be successful by following the rules and the guidelines I'm going to give you in this video. Second thing is, okay, just because a business is very hard to get into, meaning you have a lot of different NFT projects out there, and a lot of them are basically failing, it doesn't mean it's impossible for you to be successful. It's just there's something that you need to know and do in order to be more successful in it. And if you're trying, this is the last part, third part here, if you're trying to sell, you are doing it wrong. If your goal is, hey, I'm trying to sell my NFT, and that's what you're trying to do with your whole marketing campaign, the answer is you are doing it wrong. Kind of sounds weird, but you'll understand this by the end of this video. Now, I want to give you guys some secret sauce here. I want to give you some tea, okay? Some secrets, okay? Now, if you care about branding and marketing, which basically means sales and making money and all this stuff, there are 2 people you need to know about, and that's Ries and also Laura Ries, okay? Now, these people are so good. They've spent decades in marketing and branding. They work with big companies. For example, they worked with Doritos, with Disney, with Ford, and even Microsoft. And guess what? They make a lot of money too by doing what they do. So they basically know exactly what they're doing. However, most people watching this video, we don't have millions of dollars to spend on a whole marketing campaign, or to hire experts to consult you, these people especially, to consult you and tell you what to do. Okay, so this video, don't expect me to tell you, hey, hire these people, they cost thousands of dollars, so do that and you'll be good to go. No, don't worry, it's a free video, and you don't really need that much money to actually get it done. Less than $15 here, okay? Because these people, Ries and also Laura, guess what? They have a book. And again, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but when I have something that makes sense, why would I not share with you? All the answers you're seeking when it comes to branding and marketing that you did not learn in high school and college, they're all in here. Every single thing is in here. And this book is called The 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. Now, immutable means something that does not change whatsoever. And law is basically a system, right? So this whole system of rules, guess what? It never changes. Whether your business is NFTs, whether it's selling t-shirts, whether it's printing t-shirts, whether it's YouTube, whether it's whatever you're doing out there, it's not going to change. So this book, don't worry, although it seems like a thick boy, it's not. It's not a thick boy at all. It's like less than 250 pages, but the book has my favorite thing, which is basically a lot of pictures. I don't care if I'm immature. I like pictures in my book, so leave me alone, okay? But this book right here contains everything you need to know. And there's also an audio version, so if you want it for free, I have a link down below to Audible, and when you sign up, you get the book for free. If you don't want to, just buy this book used. I use a website called Thrift Books, thrift, like thrift shop, Thrift Books, and I got it like for $5-7, honestly. I did not pay retail, which was $19. Like, you know, like my budget for these things, it's not that high, okay? So I just bought the book used, and it came with a little note from someone. So that's pretty cool stuff, right? And it's not written all over and stuff like that, so it's a good copy. Don't worry about it. But let's go back to the video, guys, okay? But by the way, you want to read this book, all the answers in here, and in this video, I'm just really going to give you the basics. But the first thing is, guys, what is branding and how do you apply it into your whole NFT thing that you actually want to sell? Now, the answer is branding is you getting into the mind of your consumer or your customer and having them think that there's something about your product that makes it unique and special, and there's nothing out there quite like it. Although your product or your artwork can just be as generic as everything else, but the story you've told to your customer is a completely different one, and that makes them feel very special. For example, okay, if you ever got sick and you went to CVS or Rite Aid or Walgreens, and you walk in there, right? For example, what do you see? Usually Advil and Tylenol, like the biggest brands out there, and also Motrin. But beside those brands, you always see, for example, hey, here's our CVS or Rite Aid or Walgreens store brands. We have the same exact ingredients for a fraction of the price. But even then, the same exact product, but people still buy the brand made ones, including myself, okay? That is branding in action. To have something that's not special whatsoever, but in the mind of the consumer, it is special. It is unique. That's what branding is. So how does it apply to your NFT? It applies in the sense that, hey, you're not really, I don't want to say this like to offend artists, right? But there's nothing really that crazy special about what you're actually doing. What makes it special is the story and the brand and everything else behind it and what it actually stands for. Like if I told you, hey, this is an Apple Watch, right? Cool stuff. But if I had a Rolex on here, you would be, wow, Tommy has a Rolex. Tommy must be balling. Like that's some luxury baller stuff, because Rolex symbolizes success, symbolizes you having a lot of money, symbolizes a lot of those things, because that is what the brand Rolex actually stands for. Same thing with your NFT. It's not just the product, but it's also the brand. What does the collection actually stand for? That is the big question you gotta ask yourself. Now, the second lesson, guys, is basically if you're trying to sell, you are already doing it wrong. Now, let me explain it, guys, okay? When was the last time you were at your house and someone knocked the door and said, hey, well, are you interested in buying some cable or like internet service? Like people don't do that anymore. Or for example, when was the last time you got a call on the phone saying like, hey, are you interested in buying a new toaster or a new oven? Like that doesn't happen anymore. Like sales is something that is going obsolete. And when I say sales, I mean trying to sell you a product. Like that's not happening anymore, especially like in our generation. Now, for example, guys, okay, for the ladies, okay, the ladies watching this video, because I know ladies watch this video, you know, what's up? But no, look, seriously, okay? When you walk into a Sephora, for example, when you're trying to buy some perfume or some makeup, very generic, I know, but if you're trying to buy some perfume or some makeup, are you being sold on anything specifically? The answer is no. You walk into the store already knowing what you're actually gonna buy, the exact same product. Even though there's one next to it with the same ingredients, same thing, you're still gonna buy the one by Kylie Jenner or the one by Rihanna, because those marketing campaigns were not about telling you, hey, this is 2 for $4 or 5 for $10. It's not about that, right? It's not about the ingredients either. Like, what they're promising you is, hey, look at this person, they're beautiful, right? So you buy this stuff, it's kind of giving you this entire like status also. I use the same thing that this person uses, so I must be special too. So when you walk into the store, no one has to sell you because you have already been sold. You already bought it basically, okay? That's the idea. So how does this relate to NFTs? It means that if your whole thing is to create an entire marketing campaign where you have a whole social media about, if you buy this one, you get it for $5 and $10 and $20. The answer is you're trying to sell people on something instead of actually creating a brand and basically having them buy the idea on their own, which then leads them to actually just buying things. When you have a good marketing campaign overall, and marketing campaigns don't just mean spending money and advertising, it means you creating a word of mouth or a word on social media around something intentionally. Does that make sense? And that can be free, organic, but it has to be less about promotion and sales and price and more about, what is this promising me? How am I gonna feel here? That's the idea. That is branding. And by doing correct branding, that is going to equal sales on its own. That's the cool thing. Now, lesson 3, guys, the benefits and also the downside of not focusing on branding. And by the way, if you're not sold on this and you haven't bought this book in your head already or went on Audible, go get it. Like, it just makes sense, okay? It makes sense. It's a great book. Now, here's the thing, guys, okay? Here is the main benefit of focusing on branding. The first thing is you will have pricing power. Now, pricing power basically means when you have a business and you're able to basically up the price without being worried about your customer not buying your product anymore. Now, if you have a brand that you love and they raise the price by double, will you not buy that product? Most of you are gonna say, Tommy, there's no way in heck I'm gonna buy that product. But I show you, right? It can be done over a period of time. Look at Apple and their iPhone. Here's a chart. They went from being from $229, $300, all the way from now being like $1,100 for the upper end model and like $700 to $800 for like the lesser model. Now they have like a $400 cheaper model or whatever, but usually, guess what? The price has gone up because they have pricing power. And also, for example, See's Candy, like the whole candy company, they've raised the price a bunch, but people still want to buy the candy they love and care about because they have a loyal brand base that is willing to pay this premium. And when you ask them, why do you pay extra? You know, you got to pay for things that are good and quality and luxury. That's what they say, okay? That's what they say. Now, the second benefit is, guys, customer loyalty. When you have a strong brand and you develop customer loyalty, it is invaluable, basically. When you look at Apple and Mercedes, Apple stands for something. Like that blue bubble literally stands for something. And a Mercedes does not stand for example, a car. No, it's also luxury, it's also wealth, it's also status. And by the way, when you compare it, for example, to Toyota, more reliable, more fuel efficient, less money, but it still is not that powerful as, for example, Mercedes. So my point is, when you have customer loyalty, you don't have to be the best in your market because there's something about you that is unique and there's nothing like it in the market. Remember, that's the definition of branding. And the third benefit is basically by having a strong brand, undeniably, you're gonna make more money and you're gonna have more sales without having to sell people on these things, okay? Because people are already going to buy your product. They have already bought that product in their heads, and when they walk in, that's what they're actually going to buy. Now, the downside is not a downside immediately, okay? Let me explain, guys, okay? If Rolex right now, one of the most powerful watch brands in the world, said, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make $100 Rolex. They could probably sell 1 million of those just like this. But over the long term, that is going to diminish the brand of Rolex because now more people, the average folks like us, are gonna have Rolexes. Okay, I'm gonna buy one for real, right? I'm gonna buy one ASAP. But that's gonna make the brand Rolex not stand for what it stands for? Quality, wealth, status, people that have money, like all these factors, that goes away. So what I mean is, in the short term, the downside is not just gonna be, for example, because in the short term, you probably won't lose money, okay? Like if you have like an NFT collection and it's popular and you create like a lot more products and you like expand it, like, oh my gosh, like over 10,000 collection, like NFTs in this collection. In the short term, you're gonna see this massive increase in sales, but in the long run, you're gonna see this massive diminishment in sales. You saw this with Chevrolet, you saw this with Ford, you saw this with Amex. Like when you read this book, you're gonna see all these examples with these big companies that things did not turn out for them. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I love learning from other people's mistakes and not making them myself. That's why this book is so amazing. So the benefit is, if you have a strong brand as an artist, now, this is the main focus, guys, okay? The focus is not on your NFT. The focus is not what you're trying to sell. The focus in this case is on you, the actual business. And if you are an artist or doing music or photography, if you have a strong brand and people respect you and you have customer loyalty and they believe that what you have is special and you got the good sauce, whatever you release, NFT, whatever it is, usually they're going to go ahead and want to be a part of that. They already are going to be sold on the idea without you trying to sell them on the idea. That is the powerful thing. So instead of trying to make this NFT the brand, me personally, I would make myself the artist the brand, and then people just follow along whatever I do. That's the core idea. And lastly, before I go, guys, here, I want to tell you guys about the first law, which is basically the law of expansion. A lot of people think that just by expanding and offering more services and more of this and more of that, that things are going to be a lot better. But usually in the short term, you make more money, but in the long term, a lot of the times, less is actually more, and less is actually better, and less sells a lot more. You don't see Apple with 15 models of phones. It just doesn't happen. They have one every year. I have a little gadget here, some AirPods here, but that's about it. It's not a massive amount. But that's it, guys, for this video. And again, this video is just the starting point. It's just the basics. A lot of you guys took notes, but the notes are not enough. You got to go ahead and read the book. Less than 250 pages, probably like a 2-hour read. If you're like me, 5 hours, I read very slow, and I take a lot of notes, because if I don't take notes and rewrite things, repetition, I just can't remember things. It just does not stick in my head. So that's why I do it like that. But that's it, guys. Hopefully this video helped you in some way. Hopefully you'll learn something. Thanks for watching. And as always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified, comment down below. And I learned so much by making this video. Like literally, like with my channel and what I'm doing here, this book is teaching me more and more things about the things I'm doing correctly and also the things I'm not doing correctly. So it's a great book. On top of that, that's it. Long-term team out. Peace out. Want to call me? Link down below. Instagram, link is also, what's my Instagram? At TommyBryson, that's my Instagram. Peace, more content, video here. No, video here. My face is here. Peace out.